Hi everybody, welcome to today's tutorial. It's Crescent Pose Day, Crescent Lunge. Makaela, Francis, roll the intro! Welcome to Atma Yoga. Jay is my name. Again, Makaela, Francis, two students, friends, awesome ladies. Anyway, they're here. I'll just use what I have.
This is the best you're gonna get. So
This is the best we're gonna get today. So, I want to just make sure that everybody knows that you can view any of these tutorials on YouTube. If you're starting with the Crescent Lunge tutorial, perhaps go to the Down Dog tutorial first, because in a lot of these tutorials we're going to transition from Down Dog into these postures. So I think I hit a lot of key points in Down Dog. That'll help you in these things. So some of the purposes of these tutorials are to help with the finer points of the postures that you may not see in a regular class if you just take a regular class online. They give you some good points, but maybe there's a few here that they didn't hit or that I hit that may help you. This is to help people who don't have a teacher to ask questions to or a studio to go to. You're just limited because of where you are, or you're just not confident enough to hit a class yet. These are the tutorials are to help you build that confidence to go out and share the energy with people in a studio environment, and just understand that we all start out somewhere, we all start at the beginning, and then we get better at it. And also, I want to show that anybody can do this stuff, any body size, any age, any gender. Yoga can be very relaxing, it can be very difficult, it can be more fitness, it can be whatever you want it to be. And that's an important point while you're developing your own class and your own style of practice. And as well as some modifications if you come into Crescent and you cannot do it and you're wondering why. Some modifications that you can make in your own body that may help you understand the posture of your body and to be a little more successful at it. And successful to me could mean many things, but maybe success to you is holding the posture longer, is to remember some of the key things I'm going to say now will make you feel like you've been a success at it and you've accomplished some stuff. So as with all these tutorials, we're going to begin in a down dog. So from tabletop with the hands flat on the floor. So again, watch the down dog tutorial, find the finer points of it, tuck the toes guys, push up as soon as you're ready. Good, Makaela, walk forward a little bit more here with your hands. There you go. That's a walking dog. Let's walk the dog. Good, down dog. Down dog's great. I love down dog. It used to be so hard for me, and now it is definitely a relaxing pose, an inversion, and we begin a lot of the stuff from here. So let's inhale and lift the right leg up. Is this right?
Mm-hmm. You're right.
And then exhale, bring the knee into the body, push forward on the back heel and step the foot through. Before we do anything else, in Crescent, I want to make sure that you understand that the balance is going to begin in the front foot, pressing into the big toe knuckle, the pinky side, the heel. The back foot, we only balance into the ball of the foot and a little bit of the pinky at times. The feet are hips distance apart, so we're not on a tightrope, we're slightly apart so that when we inhale, when we're ready, we come up into Crescent. So if you're ready, guys, inhale right into Crescent, arms lift. Good, and take that exaggeration we talked about there, yeah. So you'll see many different kinds of, this is called a crescent, but you'll hear it's Anjaneyasana, it's runner's lunge, there's many different names for it that teachers will use. I like crescent, it's not Sanskrit, but I think people understand it. So some points here again. The knee is directly above the ankle. Makaela's foot is moving a little bit because this is a balance in the front, and what's happening here is the muscles all along the hip are trying to stabilize her. So it becomes, it's difficult because we're working on the little points. Her back heel is pushing forward. So we're activating the back calf. So we're going to stretch the rectus abdominis on this side, and then we're going to stretch the TFL, the tensor fascia lata, on the opposite side, on the back leg. In the front leg, we're strengthening the front quad, the hip. We're also strengthening and activating the calf on the back leg. Now Makaela's taking quite an exaggerated posture here, and what you'll see is is it's doable, but what we're losing here is the ability to activate the core. So the lower ribs must pull down and shoulders will be above the hips. Perfect. Now hold there. Now you'll notice Frances, we can see Frances really well here, and I want her to keep her arms active and biceps beside her ears. Good. That's great. So how's that feeling, guys?
Tough.
Where are you feeling?
Mostly my quad, yeah.
Front or back?
Back.
Back.
Leg.
Back. Everybody is different in these postures. Everybody feels differently, has different strengths and weaknesses. If you're a runner, if you're a biker, the leg that's stretching back might be stiff. So it's going to take a while to get into this posture because that front leg is stiff. So we will do a video on warming up. Oh, the mic just fell. That's crazy.
Get it together!
That's crazy. I'm falling apart, guys. Great, good, ugly. All right. Let's bring the hands to the floor, guys. Exhale. Good. Press into the floor, round the upper back, and step back to down dog. So this can be a resting posture. Down dog, again, watch the tutorial. It could be a challenging posture and help build strength, or in these situations, it could be a resting posture. Okay, let's lift the left leg up with an inhale, and exhale, step the foot through. Once you find that balance, then you inhale. You still might have that balance and you still might feel wobbly, and that's okay. That may not be due to anything besides there's stuff in your mind that you just need to focus on where you're at, not where you need to be. Good. Reach, stay active, spread the fingers, push the back heel forward. Good work. Now, drop the shoulders down. So if the shoulders are too close to the ears, we're quite scrunched up there. You want to bring the shoulder blades down, but lengthen the arms. Good. Now, if this is too tough for you to do, we can gently bring the back knee to the floor, nice and slow, all the way to the floor. This is what we call a low lunge, could be a low crescent as well. Until you get used to it, until you get warmed up, this may be where you want to start. Good. Let's lift the knee up, come back into crescent. If this is too deep, Frances has a great deep one, so does Makaela. You can, if this is too tough, you want to pull the legs together, so actually walk the back foot up. So it's a little less intense, but we're still working on how to do it. And then your progression will be walking that back foot back. Good. Notice the front leg is almost parallel. Like in Warrior 2, watch the tutorial. Nice and deep here, almost parallel to the floor, but it is more challenging. Good. Pull the feet together. So I want Makaela to try and pull the front heel back to activate the hamstring on the back. Lift the back knee up. Here we get the vastus medialis, the muscle just on the inside of the knee. It's active because that back leg is straight or working to be straight. Sometimes you just can't go straight. Sometimes you just can't go straight. And hands to the floor with an exhale and step back to down dog.
I'm opposite.
Good. So take a few deep breaths in down dog and let your mind kind of get used and understand what the body's doing here in crescent. So at some points, down dog is the workout. At other points, it's the rest between these postures. So find the modification that works well with you. Let's bring, the next step I always like to do is how can I make this harder? If I feel I can do this really, really well, I want to challenge myself, I want to do something a little different. That's what this part of the video is for. So let's lift the right leg up with an inhale. Good, and let's step through.
Spit everywhere.
Spit everywhere. That's great. Good. And inhale, stand, balance. Inhale, lift. Find the breath here. So I don't know if you guys can hear that they're breathing heavy already. Because when you're activating a lot of the body, it's like flexing your muscles the whole time and holding them. It's quite tiring. And it helps to really feel the posture. So, Makaela, I want you to try and do some lunges here. So to make it more difficult, lower your back knee to a hover and straighten. Do 5 and down and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Hold there. Now we're in an isometric hold, just like throughout the class. And here, After the reps, we're now also getting an isometrical. Let's bring the hands to the floor. We'll do the other side just to balance out. Everything in yoga, I like to stay balanced. Step back to down dog. Lift the opposite leg. Inhaling, exhaling, step the foot through. So we're getting some of the fundamentals of yoga. We're also starting to build the heart rate. Good. Lifting. Find all that weight in the front foot, the ball of the back foot. Find the cues. Good. Lower and lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's tough work. Lunges, nobody likes lunges because they are difficult, but they are super valuable. And now we hold here for another second. Good. Hands to the floor. Let's step back to down dog. Good. And hold down dog for just 3 breaths and then bring the knees to the floor. And we're going to talk about the hips once these guys are ready to go again. Or even I could do it. But that's why they're here. So. Good. Good. How's that feeling, guys?
Oh my god.
My hamstrings are screaming.
Oh, mine's my quads, like, holy.
Together. The last point I want to talk about here is the hips. And I think the best bet is to just have Francis come into it again. And yeah, so you can come into it there actually. I think we'll be good there. Yeah, so let's come into down dog and we'll come in from there. And I'll have you do it from the side. Good, so lift the leg up and step through. We'll do right leg as usual with me. It's just easier. Inhale up. If the front leg is too far forward and the back leg is not straight, the hip of the leg that is back may be forced back. You may be twisting. So this hip is back and this hip is forward. So a good way to test this is bring your hands to your hips, to their hip bones, and point your fingers. And if you're in the posture and one hip is further back than the other, turn to level out your hips so that both hips are pointing forward. Back up. Good. Oh, so good. Good. Look up if you can. Sink deeper. Push forward on the back foot. Take a breath. Tuck your ribs in. Activate the core. Breathe. Smile. And now slowly bring the hands to the floor and then step back into down dog. Good. Let's do the other side, just leveling out the hips and balancing out the class. Left in, push forward, foot down, inhale, lift. So would you guys say that you could do down dog to crescent in sets and still get a pretty good workout?
Oh,
yes,
easily.
easily.
So all those,
I'm sweating.
Yeah.
all those, there's lots of videos on YouTube where they have these shredded people that do this for 10 minutes and get shredded and work out. You know, they're great workouts. It doesn't have to be very complicated, especially if you're just starting out. And yoga is something you want to experience and practice a little more. So let's level out the hips. So focus on the hips, push the straight leg hip is tendencies to let that hip go back. Exactly. And you think you're in a deep, but we want to correct that. We want to get the most we can. Good. Fingers point forward. Lift the hands up. And you see Makaela can't straighten her leg fully. Just some people can come deep and straighten that back leg. You have to find your own practice. You have to know your own body. If you're feeling it, the warmth in the front leg, the stretch in the back leg, you're hitting it. You're good. You're good to go. So what can you say? All right. Let's bring the hands to the floor. And we'll step back to down. Good. Hold here for just 5 breaths. Just take big inhale and exhale. Good. Okay, knees to the floor, guys. Good. What do you think? Anything else we got to talk about here?
Oh, I don't think so.
No more, Jay.
No mess. No mess. That's one of my favorite poses.
Is it? Oh, like I say in the videos, transitioning from down dog. I love that transition. You can also do this from standing, which we can deal with in another video. Check out my other videos, my other tutorials. Check me out on Patreon. Like, subscribe. There'll be full classes at least once a month on YouTube, so you can check me out and the type of classes I like to teach and do. They're active. They're not like a relaxing class. Relaxing classes tend to bore me.
They're not relaxing.
I don't need to relax doing yoga. There's many wonderful channels out there and people that teach a beautiful, relaxing yoga, but that just does not work for my type of personality, and I think the people that train with me are of the same mindset. We like to be active, sweat, get out of our heads by doing that. So enjoy any type of yoga you can find that really resonates with you, or any teachers that you find that you want to learn from. You know, attach onto them, ask them questions. So many great teachers out there that just want to help you, teach you yoga and teach you to know your body better and to help you relax mentally. It's just a great place to be. There's so many good teachers out there and so many of you good students at all different levels. So you make this all possible for us. So thanks, Makaela. Thanks, Francis. And we'll see you on the next video.